Hey everyone, it's Vincent with vascotoys. Today I'm coming at you with an action figure review. We're going to be looking at the Marvel Legends Symbiote suit Spider-Man, the black suit, one of my favorite costumes for Spider-Man. And I actually just got this today from Target and I'm super excited to open it up and take a look at it with you.
Vascotoys, action figure dioramas and props.
Alright guys, here is Spider-Man in all his glory, and I have him set up here with my daytime backdrop and a Boundless Brooklyn water tower that I've partially painted, which I think kind of looks cool with his black costume behind it. So just wanted to shout out Just Jay Hernandez, who did reveal this figure way back when from Hasbro. What a cool review and reveal that he did. It got me so excited to get this guy, and so just wanted to mention him. And of course D Amazing as well. I just recently watched his review of this figure and it got me so excited to get this guy. And you know, he really wasn't super easy to come by in Target by me. I actually had to drive quite a bit out of my way to get this guy because my local Target did not have him in stock. And I did pre-order him on Hasbro Pulse, but I won't have that until about April-May timeframe. So I'm really glad that I did get him right now. And so he's a standard Marvel Legend, so he's about 6 inches tall. And we're going to go over all his articulation and everything. But just look at this guy. He just looks so awesome. Just everything about this figure to me is just so cool. And I love finally having this in my collection because I do not have the previous version of this guy, and I love the retro body. So one of the things that I really love about this new Spider-Man is the head sculpt, and I feel like, we'll get to the comparisons later, but I feel like it's a different head sculpt, and I think Hasbro probably said that for when they announced the figure, but it almost looks to me like the eyes are actually sculpted on there, even though it's a simple black versus white, black head versus the white eyes scenario on this figure, but it really looks good. I don't know if you guys can even tell, but I do have a slight paint imperfection on the bottom part of the left eye. There's just a dot of black that I kind of wish wasn't there, but either way, this is still incredible. And then just the other thing too, because this is the same body as the retro figure, the detailing on the spider logo for the symbiote is just incredible. All the line work on these different legs that come off of the Spider-Man figure are amazing to me. They look great. There's no blemishes whatsoever. And you know, with black and white you can have issues like that if they're not perfect. And then one thing I noticed too in Dan Hu reviews, in his review of this figure, he mentioned that they did a better job on the butterfly joint for this figure than they did in the previous version of the black costume Spider-Man. So that's definitely a good thing to see. And if you turn this guy around to the back, they do have some of the Spider-Man legs of the costume on the butterfly joint back here. But it doesn't bother me so much, and I can't really get him to... I just opened this guy, and I haven't really done much to him, so I can't really get it to move. But you guys can see the difference here, just the way the butterfly joints are. But I honestly think it's going to look great, even with that broken up a little bit in ACBA and just in posing sessions. Alright guys, real quick, let's take a look at the accessories. This Spider-Man figure only comes with 3 different sets of hands, which of course would be great for any Spider-Man figure to have as a standard, but he doesn't come with any extra heads or any other accessories. So first, we're looking at the hands that he comes packaged with, his fists. Alright guys, so unfortunately while I was switching to the wall crawling hands, which I'm going to show you in a second, I tried to take off my fists, and unfortunately the wrist peg came completely out of the hand, and I think I might have either lost a piece on this side of the hand, or I never had it to begin with. And I kind of had to heat this up just to put this back. So I'll be able to put this back into Spider-Man's arm, but I never will really be able to trust that it's going to stay in there, and it will hinge, as you guys can kind of see here. I can move it back and forth, but I just don't know how long this is going to hold up for me. Here he is with his wall crawling hands, which is great to see because the retro carded original Spider-Man did not have them. It's really great to have these kind of things because they really help with expression. Being that Spider-Man is a masked character, some of the hand expressions can really help to show like what situations he's in, and also if you just want to have him wall crawling, of course you need these. So you know, I think a lot of people have been having fun recreating the Secret Wars covers with this particular hand gesture as well. And here are his thwipping hands, which of course you need if you want to represent this as the black suit that Peter Parker gets after the symbiote has left his body. And these are definitely awesome to have for any Spider-Man figure, and really happy to have these ones as well. While we're talking about this symbiote suit, I want to know, what other figures are you looking forward to hopefully getting in this retro carded series for Spider-Man? I know for me personally, I really want a Rhino on the retro card. Leave a comment and let me know. Let's look at the articulation for this guy. So really quick, his head movement, he can go about this high up, this low down, which is pretty good. I think on the lower portion, the upper portion is not as good as I would expect. And I want to mention too, my Spider-Man was really stiff. I had to heat him up with a heat gun, and he's definitely a little bit better now, but you know, he was stiff out of the package. So he does have butterfly joints, so these come, if you want to put his arms in, they will come, let's see, about this much in if you rotate, and then he goes back pretty far, which is awesome for web swinging kind of position, so that's great to see. While we're here, he does have an upper bicep swivel, which of course we love, and he has double jointed elbows. Mine don't seem to go as far. I think maybe I need to work on them, but there's the double jointed elbows. And then his wrists does rotate. It does rotate, and it goes in and out like this. And as you guys can see, his butterfly joints are really stiff for me personally. He does have this new retro articulation at the abs, and so he has this like diaphragm cut that you can move around like this, and he has an ab cut down here, so he can get pretty low. But I will say, and he can go back really far. So if he's dodging somebody, he can definitely do that. I will say though, compared to my retro Spider-Man, this guy is way stiffer than that figure was. And I don't know if it's just this one. I'll have to see when I get my other copies. He does have the same drop down hip joints, which are good for trying to get into the crouching poses. He has the double jointed knees. He can kick forward, and he can go backwards. Not super much on the backwards. He has a thigh swivel. He has the double jointed knees like we talked about. He has a boot cut swivel. He has the ankle pivot and the ankle rocker that we are used to seeing with Marvel Legends. So in terms of articulation, he's the same as the retro carded first Spider-Man, but he just seems a lot more stiff for me personally. Let's get into some size comparisons. I'm only going to compare with other Legends for this one. So, of course, the first one we have to do is the retro carded Spider-Man, which I've referenced several times, and it's the same body and everything like that, so there he is. And then I also want to use the Ultimate Spider-Man. This was the one that came in the 2-pack with the Vulture, and so that's how they stack up right there. Next, let's put Black Cat in, and let's do Monster Venom, which is one of my favorite villain figures that I have. So there they are. And last, we'll do Reed Richards, who of course studies the symbiote, and you got to get Green Goblin in there because we're talking about Spider-Man. So that's how they all stack up. Thank you all so much for watching this action figure review where we looked at the Symbiote Spider-Man from Hasbro Marvel Legends Retro Carded Series 2. I am so excited to be doing a couple of action figure reviews here and there, and I want to know, do you guys like the reviews? Do you want to see them? Something new to the channel, and I really do want your feedback, so let me know in the comments what you think. Other than that, guys, please subscribe to the channel. In addition to these kind of things, we typically do diorama focused content and tutorials and all those kind of things that can help you really enhance your collections, which is what we're all about. So if you guys enjoyed it, I really appreciate you watching, and I will see you next time.